I went from anxious attachment to secure attachment. The number one thing I could say I did to even start doing this was try to not control people. That's the number one thing. I think that when you are anxiously attached, it's all about control, right? I mean, it doesn't seem like it's about control, but that's what it's about. I was so anxiously attached for a long period of time. I didn't even notice when I was looking back at my relationships, it was always me just being like, want to control things. I think being secure attached, you can live a healthier life and also have a healthy relationship. Being secure attached doesn't mean you're detaching from the person that you love. It's about you just becoming more in tune with yourself, if that makes sense. So I had to learn that I nor we do not want to control people. And the only person we should be controlling is us. I mean, just look if the shoe was on the other foot and someone was saying, oh, I think you should do this or I think you should do that. It's all about what you want them to do, not what they want to do. And it's not nothing intentional that we do this. I think is that because we women, and it's just in our nature. It's just we want things to be perfect. We want things to be one way. And the whole thing about controlling people, you don't want that job to control anyone. Because it's like, why would you even want that? Why not let them do them, see who they are, and just, okay, this is what I want in my life. This is what I don't want in my life. You're trying to control the whole narrative is never going to work. That's how you get people to run away. That's how you get people to run away. They don't want to be around you. It's like a no-brainer. Why would you want them to just be this puppet or manipulate them to who you want them to be? You love them for who they were in the beginning. Even if you do want them to do everything you do or even try to control them, we as women is going to find one thing to try to fix. So just be mindful of when you're in a relationship with someone and you feel as though, I wouldn't say you're coming off as needy, or I wouldn't say you're coming off as like, I wouldn't say you're coming off as needy, but what I can say is that you find yourself having arguments and your partner is saying, oh, I'm not doing this because you want me to do this, or I'm trying to control them. Just take a step back and just realize that, like, you don't want that job to control anyone. You need to control yourself. Also, you don't want control, you want connections. You don't want control, you want connections. Looking at my partner as my friend, right? Because we are partners. Not as much of a bind, like, oh my God, if something happened or anything like that. I look at him as my friend because he is a person as well. He is a human just like I am. He's a person. So we came into this world alone. We die alone. If anything happened to my partner today, tomorrow, I'm going to be here by myself. And it sounds so blunt to say, but it's reality. So when you start to look at your partner as your friend, yes, I love him dearly, but the bond aspect jumps out. It jumps out completely. I also had to be more confident in myself, right? I love my flaws, love my dimples, love my nose, love me, love the skin that I am. I think that's why I was so anxiously attached, because sometimes you become insecure. You get so wrapped up in your head and be thinking that things are wrong or get so attached to their feelings to forget about yours. You forget to take care of you. You forget that. You become so in tune with this person, you forget to take care of you. So I had to be more confident in myself. This wasn't me being confident for him or me being confident for the other person. This was about me being confident for me, because when I was younger, I was confident, but I wasn't really that confident. You know, I used to do model and I used to do all this stuff, but in that model world, you get told you're not skinny enough, your teeth is too big, or you're doing this or you're doing that, and then you try to alternate yourself to make yourself look like what reality standards is. So you just got to be grateful and love yourself, and just think like, and look in your mirror like, I'm that bitch, period. And secure attached, anxiously attached, comes from a little bit of insecurity. You gotta have a little bit of insecurity. I'm not walking around like I'm on a high horse, but I'm very confident in with who I am and the things that, shape me to be who I am. Like, my mother made me, my father, they loved each other, and they made me who I am today. Like, not who I am, but they made me that they were once in love. Like, you just have to just think about all of that. I'd rather see who you are when I'm not around, when my eyes are closed, than what you do in front of me. I'd rather see who you are behind closed doors, and then it's like, okay, I could judge you. Okay, I don't want this type of person in my life. This is what you do when I'm not around. So imagine what you're like, So I think that you just gotta step yourself out of the picture, because people behaviors are not because of how you are. People behaviors that's who they are. They're shitty people. That's just it. Like, I can just imagine you have a seed, right? You plant this seed. You know this seed is toxic. You know this seed doesn't treat you right. You know this seed is just not right for you. You water this plant to make it healthy, to make it feel good, to make it, you water this plant to make it healthy, make it feel good. The seed is still the seed. The seed is still toxic. The seed, it doesn't matter how much you try to put the effort in to make the seed feed it or nurture it, give it sunlight. The seed is still a seed. It's still going to have them toxic traits. They still going to treat you like shit. So you have to realize, hey, I don't want to be in this situation no more. I don't want to deal with this. I think the best thing that you can do is to go cold turkey. Like, this was an addiction. Now it's time for me to go to rehab. Or this was someone that I truly love. They not here anymore. It's time for me to grieve. And that's the best thing. It's so hard to just go cold turkey or not text their phone or reach out or check their social medias. I swear, when you do this, and this is the biggest tip that I have, when you go cold turkey and not talk to them anymore, they're going to reach out to you. And it sounds sad that you shouldn't even, once they reach out, don't say anything. But as anxiously attached people, we're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I can't live without him. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do that. But once you go flat, no call, no text, live your life, bye-bye. I don't have anything to do with you anymore. And it's hard for anxiously attached people to detach from that. It's really hard. It was so uncomfortable for me. It was like literally a tiger scratching my back. That's how hard it was for me to do it. But it worked out so well because it was also about the chase though, right? It's like, oh, they're on my phone line and stuff like that. But I think that's the best thing to do. Go to rehab. It's like you're going to rehab and you're trying to better your heart. You're trying to better your mind. Or you're grieving over this loss that you know is not coming back. And it gets that deep. And also I want to say, set boundaries for yourself. Stop allowing people to walk all over you like you're the scum of the earth. I think setting boundaries like, okay, I'm not allowing this. I'm not dealing with it. This is not what I'm dealing with. The only thing they're going to do is step back whole. She's a whole, like, you know, you have to set boundaries because people are going to walk all over you. They're going to come in your life and do the same thing. Even when you get out of this anxiously attached relationship, you're going to come back or you're going to meet someone new with the same attachment style. You have to set some boundaries. You have to know that you're worth every little thing. If a man is treating you or a woman is treating you like shit, we start to think we're not shit. If someone is treating you good, we start to think that we're good. You gotta become so in love with yourself while you're in this while you're in this anxiously attached relationship, or even if you are out of it and you're trying to get detached from it, love yourself. Take one step at a time. Write down the things that make you icky about him or her. And I guarantee you the cons are going to be longer than the pros. And then when you get the anxious feeling to even make a phone call, look at that list. Look at it. And you're like, oh, I don't want to deal with that. And the last thing I had to do was move into my feminine energy, right? And I'm still working on that right now. But I could make a whole video about that if you like. But moving into my feminine energy just allowed me to, because being anxious, I always say, is masculine. I don't want to take the role of a guy. I want to be a woman. If I'm arguing and fighting, I am in my masculine energy. And I don't want to be that. I want to be feminine. I want to flow around like a bird. I don't want to argue or fight. You want someone that knock you off your feet. You want someone that makes you feel good inside. You want someone you can talk to. You want someone that makes you feel good. If this person is not making you feel good, leave. Run. And it's easier to say than do, but if you take these steps to even just one of them to do, I promise you, you will detach like this in a quickie. I mean, you want a person to be in your life, to be an asset in your life. You don't want no one to just you don't want to pick up no one's slack. You don't want to be no one's mother. They already have a mother. Like, you do not want to take the role of being someone's mother, because when it starts to be like that, you're going to look at him like your son. You're not going to be attracted to him anymore. You're not even going to want to do anything because it's going to be this dynamic. And it sounds strange to say, but when you see yourself doing things more and he's not doing anything and you're picking up his slack, you're now becoming his mother should have did. And we don't want to do that. We want to sit in our feminine energy. We want to relax. We want to take all of these cortisols we have in our body, these stress hormones, this fight or flight, and they need to be raised down. So just take this time and just reflect on, do I want to control this person? How am I looking right now as a person? Like, outside of you. Like, look in the mirror and see. Because once you start making these changes, he's going to go crazy or she's going to go crazy. I promise you. Like, this doesn't happen overnight, but if you start to take the necessary precautions of being secure attached, it can happen. It can happen in friendship, relationships, anything. Once you start setting boundaries, once you start feeling more confident in yourself, once you start not wanting to control people, all of that plays a factor into your relationship.